Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back after a long break. AFR's back with round 8 around the Algarve International Circuit here in Portimao, Portugal for AFR season number 7. And we've already had two really epic races already. Let's see if Tier 2, the third grid of tonight, can deliver 15 turns around this very challenging circuit, 2.6 miles as well, and some very technical turns and lots of action here over the past couple of years since its addition to the Formula 1 calendar. This year, Kimi Räikkönen and Tokyo Giovinazzi coming together, two teammates on the main straight. Kimi Räikkönen losing his entire front wing and heading off into the gravel trap at the first turn. His race was cut very short on that occasion. So two teammates, you never want to collide together, and especially so early in the race. Just the slightest tap on that rear left tire is all it took. Also now 2020 between Lance Stroll and Lando Norris. Lando Norris sticking his nose then at the inside of the first corner, and Lance Stroll coming out worse for wear on that one. Turn 1, a very interesting corner to make an overtake at. Lap 1 of 2020 as well, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez coming together, coming up the hill at turn 4. Sergio off into the grass and tumbling all the way down to the back of the field. Also now Sergio Perez making his way back through the field after that mishap, round the outside of Esteban Ocon at turn 1, but he's still there going through turns 2 and 3 in the switchback, showing these two drivers showing us how it can be possible to race really hard around the Algarve International Circuit with DRS assistance and some slipstream. And Sergio tries to go around the outside of the Renault, but Esteban doing it very nicely to stay with them. Side by side still coming up into the very technical turns 7 and 8. Turn 8, very hard to get the power down. Up the inside goes the Racing Point, and Checo is through for another position. And also Max Verstappen track limits, catching the Dutch driver off. Supermax going a little bit too far out of the exit of turn 14. Our drivers will have to be careful of that this evening to be sure to not invalidate their lap times. I do believe, with all things said and done, Seb, that is, well, we are about to head into qualifying.
Hello, and we are. At the moment, Star's the first car to have a flying lap. He's just zooming his way through turn 4 onto the back DRS straight. He finishes off the first sector. But yeah, as you said, a very eventful evening so far, and hope that continues, but all is to be seen in this Tier 2 grid.
Well, you know the saying for racing, Seb, in Formula 1, anything can happen, and oftentimes it usually does. And we've seen that not just with Tier 3 earlier today, but Tier 1 as well. Probably the most eventful Tier 1 race in its history, Seb. Lots of drama from start to finish, and a very entertaining race at that. So, currently looking at Mr. Spicer, who is on the top of the timing tower as he goes through the final corner. I think there might be a bit of frame issues, so just give me a sec. And there we go. So Mr. Spicer starting his flying lap around at the Algarve International Circuit as Stars goes provisional pole with a 1:17.0 to start us off in the Haas.
Yeah, good time from the man who's normally reserving in Tier 1, doesn't he? But having to go in Tier 2 today.
Yes.
He was able to make that Tier 1 race, but just wanted to get that time out the way. It's not the fastest time, and we know those times will come down, but it's a good banker to get yourself underway for this session.
Polo Pepsi already finding the gravel trap. That's this time at turn 13, unlike turn 1 that we saw Kimi Räikkönen do in the pre-show. He's got an Alpine very close behind him. That is Nemo, who's just finished his flying lap. 4th place for the Alpine driver with a 1:18.2, and the yellow flags popping up every which way, Seb, as it looks like Quantum Effect going slowly at turn 5. He's now on his merry way, and yeah, we'll see how these drivers are going. We'll have a Seb hot lap with us for the second run, so you just get the entire this beautiful. It's a really nice circuit, and it's really challenging actually as well, with this so much elevation change And we really saw that with the races so far tonight.
And that adds that extra element. Makes corners even more trickier. Example, turn 8. Pepsi and Nemo just going through that at the moment on their cool down laps. But it's a tricky acceleration zone. It's even trickier in the way that we saw the wet quali in Tier 3. No other wet session so far. It's going to be all dry for this Tier 2 session, but nevertheless, you still
The
get to see some
challenge
action.
remains.
The challenge remains as Pepsi's just gone off on his formation lap at the exit of turn 13. We also have yellow flags at turn 4 from Mercedes. I believe that may be keeper.
Now it's Bully. Bully has found the barriers. Reverses up very quickly into the gravel trap on the right-hand side of turn 4. Waits for the McLaren of Bandcamp. I have a nickname as AFR Dragon, because, you know, he is the dragon. So, often known as...
Often known as indeed. Decelerates out of the session. He drops it out of turn 8. So the hot spot we're just talking about. Get too trigger happy and that wall comes at you very quickly if you can't slow the car down. Well, you're not going to slow the car down very well on grass. So downhill into the wall, decelerates out of the section in P7. So chances are he'll have work cut out for him in the race.
Yes, it can be very, very hard to get the power down at turn 8 and decelerate well. He'll have to hope that his 1:18.1 is still a pretty decent time. But you know what? It's that time again, Seb, and I think who better to go on a hot lap with than the owner of AFR himself, the founder, the Dragon. Take us away with the McLaren driver as he takes us around a lap of the Algarve International Circuit, if you please, Seb.
Well, prepare yourself. DRS open over the start-finish line. You'll have 70% ERS and you'll have to manage it throughout the lap. Into turn 1, you're braking past that right-hand side wall. Get the car down to 5th gear, sling it through turn 1 into turn 2, which flows into turn 3. Brake hard into 2nd gear. He's missed the apex there, but don't worry about that. Get the throttle down as quickly as possible, but you flirt with it through turn 4. Slowly up the gears into 5, 6, 7. DRS open all the way down into turn 5. Brake over the curb. Get the car as tightly possible in so you can unwind, get the traction down, get the throttle down. Get as good run as possible. Turn 6 doesn't really register the corner, but here comes the fun part. Turn 7, fly through here, but prepare yourself for turn 8. Don't get that inside curb. It can spin you around very easily, and then apply that throttle oh so gently. Careful not to spin. Now through turn 9, once again not a corner, but the double right of turn 10, 11, the braking zone of turn 10 into turn 11. Very easy to lock up the front, very easy to go wide, very easy to lose it under traction as well. Turn 12 doesn't register as a corner in the dry, but does in the wet. But turn 13 is the apex. You want to take a lot of inside curb and then get that car wide. Then swing it back to the left for turn 14. Touch that inside curb, get that throttle down just before those orange walls on the left-hand side. Now it's just flat out, keep that car as tight to the right-hand side possible through 15. Hold your breath, get over this crest, get that DRS open, and that is a lap of Portimao.
Yes, but unfortunately for Bandcamp, it's slowest of the lot so far, 1:18.796, only 100th between himself and keeper, but still a nice opening attempt nonetheless. Some additions now to the timing tower. Apollo Pepsi has finally put a lap on the board without spinning, and he is now in second place, about 3.5 tenths behind the reserve of Starsja.
Starsja, the big man. Just a recap for those who don't know. We are tier 2, and at the moment in the championship, Pepsi leads by a whopping 61 points? Yes, 61 points. Had to do some quick maths there, but he does lead. He's got a commanding lead of the championship, but there is a fight on between Ando, Quantum Effect, and a Wingman for P2, separated by 24 points. And there's also a bit of a constructors fight for P2 between Aston Martin and the Red Bulls, and McLaren and Williams for P4. So a couple of battles going on around the track here in this tier 2 list.
Combat Rat struggling to keep the car on the road, it would seem. Those tyres very, very hot. He's currently in 12th place. Our provisional pole setter Stars has now started another flying lap attempt, half a tenth up through the first sector split as Quantum Effect goes into second place, beating out Pepsi by 100th of a second, Seb. So close gaps already between the two title contenders.
In all honesty, Quantum's probably been the closest to Pepsi throughout the season, but he's had a couple of mishaps here and there, notably Azerbaijan, where he actually no, that was Wingman. Sorry, my bad. But he has been up and about. Wingman, his teammates, also been up there as well, but they're just unable to keep it together for a whole entire race for at least half of them, and Pepsi has done that for all except one. So
Yes, we'll see what Stars is able to do against our current championship leader in the Ferrari. Well, Stars used to race for Ferrari up in Tier 1, but now down in Tier 2 for the Haas team, and he's showing that Tier 1 prowess. He improves again, first driver into the 1 minute 16, Seb, is 1:16.9 for the Haas car. A very, very solid lap time, and definitely putting it to the front runners of Tier 2.
definitely putting it to the front runners indeed. Keep in mind though, I believe Pepsi's time is on the mediums. He's on an out lap right now, so about to see what his true representative time will be in the coming 2 minutes.
Just under 8 minutes left in the session. If you're just joining us, welcome to the third and final race here this evening for Aussie Formula Racing. My name is Mikhail. Joining me is my lovely co-commentator and Season 4 runner-up rival, I guess if I call it that, because I'm a Revo. Mr. Sebastian. You know, that's basically a title fight, right? I mean...
Yeah, it's basically. I mean, Revo is in a different league of his own, but we won't talk about that anymore.
Yes, currently looking at the Alfa Romeo of Vassar on his next flying lap attempt. Up 0.3 of a second through the middle sector, and the purple middle sector at that, Seb. I don't know how much I want to believe that. But he is on course to be right in the mix with Quantum all the way down to skins as Mr. Spicer. Hello, 17-1 from the Alpine.
Really jumping in there, getting close to Stars, but the question is it close enough? Vassar's about to cross the line. 17.3, so he pips the Red Bull driver, but not good enough to get the Alpine. Meanwhile, Pepsi is on that lap. He's a 10th up through Sector 1 as he heads through Turn 5 right now, heading into Turn 6.
Just got to turn the sound down just a tiny bit so they can hear your lovely voice, Seb. And there we go, Bully across the line. He goes 12th fastest with a 1:18.148. And you're starting to notice already, at least I am, Seb, there seems to be two separate groups of drivers on this grid.
Yeah, two separate groups indeed. You got those in the underneath the 17.5s and those over the 17.9s. So we could be seeing a split group in this race, but that doesn't mean we can't get a bit of action as Pepsi. Swatching on board with him through the final sector, drops it.
That final sector is actually deceptively challenging because it only looks like 3 corners. That final bit with that braking zone into what would be turn 13. But it's really quite challenging because at that point, after the very, very fast and flowing middle sector of the lap, the tires are just screaming at that point. And to try and get as much grip out of those rears as you can to carry the speed down that main straight is very, very challenging.
Yeah, and turn 14 is very deceptive. It tightens on you on the exit. You think it opens up a fair bit, but that outside track limit just comes at you. And as you saw on that introduction video with Max Verstappen, it's very easy to go wide and validate your lap time there.
Nut coming across the line just a few moments ago. He pips his teammate by 0.02 of a second, but unfortunately it is still 16th and 17th for the two McLarens. Just over 5 minutes remaining in the session, and there's one driver yet to set a lap time. But fortunately, he's out there on track and getting ready. He'll only have time for this one run, Seb. You're cutting it close for 2.
Yeah, cutting it very close. I don't think he will get it unless he's going to go for the run, has a mistake on that hot lap, comes back in. The cat might just be trying to conserve the tires here because I believe that...
Oh,
Getting a bit hairy there out of turn 8 with that Mercedes blocking the way as well.
Yeah, Bully struggling as well through turn 8. And Ando almost caused a collision between the two. Did very, very well to avoid hitting the Mercedes in that scenario because that is a tough ask, especially when you're losing the car yourself. But here we go then, Ando gearing things up. Apollo Pepsi out on track as well. It's the calm before the storm, Seb, as Ando about to start his first and probably only flying lap attempt of the session.
Hello?
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 Hello. Welcome back.
Alright, sorry. Discord's playing up a bit, but as you see, Ando flying through turn 1 and 2, good enough. Doesn't use all that exit curb of 1 though. All that inside curve of turn 3 he does use. Clip the inside curve of turn 4, and there's that mistake we're
Ooh.
talking about.
Yeah, just ran slightly wide at turn 4. That corner, it goes one of two ways, Seb. It either feels like the rear end is going to step out on you, and then you overcorrect on the outside, or you just don't have enough purchase in those front tires, and then you just wash out wide anyway, because it's very, very tight, and it's a blind. It's blind at the top of the hill, so very, very technical section of circuit. And so we'll hopefully get Mr. Sebastian back in shortly, but Apollo Pepsi on a flying lap at the moment. He's making his way through the first sector. 10th and a half up from our championship leader. That's going to put him right on course to compete with Vasa, but he's going to need a little bit more time to catch the two Haas cars of Stars and Only F1. I do believe both of them being reserves for this tier, but both showing their skills indeed. So it goes Stars, Mr. Spicer, and Only F1, your top three with Vasa, Quantum, Pepsi, Skins, Psycho, Bully, and Mika, as Pepsi taking out the flight number at signs, losing it at the exit of turn 11, and that, I dare say, is his session done and dusted. And how are you going with the wonderful game by Codemasters, Sebastian? Looks like Sebastian might be muted. Well, that's okay. We will press on anyway. Looks like Pepsi might be gearing up to try again. All cars now out on circuit except for two of them, of course, Decelerate, retiring earlier on. And the only other car who's in the pits is a Bully. Everyone else out there on track, as there's a Williams around. That's Combat Rat yet again at the top of turn 8. Trying to rejoin the circuit in the safest way that he can. Andrew Cat coming through the final couple of corners now on his flying lap attempt. It's going to be his only lap of the session, and it's good enough for P4, so very nice job from the Aston Martin. The 1:17.252 is the time for him. Skins just starting a lap as well behind them, as the session now only has 50 seconds left to go, and there's a lot of action out there on track. Skins will be the first one, I believe, to cross the line. Nope, he has invalidated his lap, so he will not be improving on that. Keeper as well, getting out of the way. One of the Alfa Romeos, I do believe that would be Vasa. Currently on a flying lap, as Pepsi goes to the top of the timing charts with a 1:16.6 from our championship leader. So a very nice effort from him indeed. As there's 18 seconds now on the clock. The first car to catch the checkered flag, I do believe, will be... well, I think Bully's about to start a lap. It will be one of the AlphaTauris. It is Saxa who will catch the checkered flag first. 1:18.1 for the AlphaTauri, and his best he can hope for is 15th place. Vasa doesn't improve. He will stay in 7th position, and it looks like Keeper is going to be coming into the pits as well. Next car in line is going to be Skins, but Skins are validated earlier, as we saw. He's going to jump right into the pit lane. Psycho, the next car to complete a lap. Weaving, not happy with his lap. He will stay in 10th fastest, as Bandcamp jumps up to 16th. And his teammate unfortunately stays at the back of the order. Quantum Effect diving straight into the pit lane, not happy with his final run. And it looks like one of the Alpine cars about to cross the line. That is Nemo, jumping up into 11th place. And it looks like Spicer has spun on his attempt, so unfortunately he won't be improving. But Mika, so Mika is on an in-lap coming into the pits. He's 5th fastest, just ahead of his teammate with a 1:17.234. Combat Rat jumps up into 9th fastest. A very, very nice effort from the Williams car. And now just a couple of drivers left. Set lap times. It is Bully, and Bully improves to 13th fastest. Does he improve? I don't know. But he is in 13th place. And that, I do believe, is all of the drivers done and dusted for this session. Hopefully we can get Sebastian back in. But if not, it is Pepsi on pole with only F1 and Stars. The two Haas cars second and third, with Mr. Spicer up the order as well in 4th place. There's two Aston Martins in 5th and 6th, the Vassar in 7th, Quantum Effect in 8th, Combat Rat 9th, and Skins, the other Williams, will round out the top 10. Drivers with tyre choice start with 11th. It is Psycho in 11th place with a 1:17.481. Nemo in 12th. About 200 separating those two. 3/10 back is a Bully in the Mercedes, followed by Decelerate, crashing out early in the session. Saxa in 15th. Just a few milliseconds between those two. And then there's Bandcamp, Keeper, and Nut will round off this grid. And I do believe, yes, I am alone. Alright, solid cast time. Wait, do. So yes, Pepsi and only F1, one up on the front row with Stars and Spicer in 4th place, followed by Mika, Andocat, Vassar, Quantum, Combat, and Skins is your top 10, and then Psycho, Nemo, Bully, Decelerate, Saxa, Bandcamp, Keeper, and Nut. Rounding out the back 8. 18 drivers on this grid. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the full 20, but it's going to be action-packed nonetheless. You can count on that, ladies and gentlemen. So just waiting for the clock to tick down. Get your predictions in the chat if you please. I want to see, is Apollo Pepsi going to convert this pole position into victory and extend his championship advantage even further? Or do the two Haas cars, both reserves from different tiers, mind you, do they provide an upset and really boost that constructor in the team's championship? So we're just going to wait for all the drivers to select their tyre strategies, make any last-minute setup adjustments that they would like, of course, under park firmware regulations, and confirm their fuel loads for this 33-lap race, and it's set to be 33 laps of pure intensity here at the Algarve International Circuit. So as the timer ticks down, I dare say that most of the back 8 will be starting on mediums, as medium soft does seem to be the fastest strategy, at least from my experience. Here we go. Hopefully not as many issues as we saw in Tier 1 previous. Speak from experience now that starting the race on 50-degree rear tires is not fun. But here we go. The one red light goes out, and we are away on the formation line. We'll just get everything set up so we can see. So, out of the back 8, we have 2 runners on the soft compound tires, those being Psycho in 11th and Bully in 13th. The rest of the back 8 on those yellow-walled medium compound tires for the start of this race. So it is Apollo Pepsi who leads them away in that red Ferrari, the only Ferrari on this grid. And there's only one Red Bull as well, Wingman unable to make this race. Unfortunate to see, one of the front runners and definitely a key part of Red Bull's combined constructors fight. If anyone new here, welcome to AFR Season 7, Round number 8. My name is Mikhail, and joining me was Seb, but it looks like he might have a few internet issues. So it's just me for the time being. You've just missed out on qualifying. Sorry, but you are just in time for the 33-lap campaign around the Algarve International Circuit here in Portugal. Only added to the F1 calendar 2 years ago, and it just released in this game about a month and a half ago now, I think 6 weeks. This track has been out. It's the first race for all these drivers after a month hiatus. It's been a month since we last attempted to have this race in Tiers 3 and 1, but unfortunately connection issues played that one, so we had to stop, go into a forced shutdown, and these guys are back, and hopefully better than ever. But if anything, well, if Tier 3 and Tier 1 are to go by, it is going to be a really, really entertaining race.
I am back.
Oh, Mr. Sebastian is back. A little bit quiet, but he's back. And just in time as well, Seb. As, yeah, we've got a pretty interesting grid. 2 Haas cars starting in the top 3. Both McLarens, unfortunately, at the back. A bit of pace trapped in this field with Quantum Effect in 8th position, as well as Combat Rat and Skins. You can't discount those guys. Spicer up in 4th as well. A great qualifying performance from the Alpine. He'll be hoping to convert that into some great points. But here we go, Seb.
Look out for Stars at the race start.
Yes, Stars known to be quite the bullet off of the line. And here we go. We'll get things set up for position changes for once everything is underway. And here we go. We have 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights. The 5th light is on and they go out very quickly. It's lights out and it's pedal to the metal. Go, 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 go. And look at that, Stars already to the left-hand side. It's 3 wide going into turn 1 and it's Stars taking 2 and 1 off the race start there. Looks like only F1 getting side-by-side action with Pepsi as well going into turns 3 and now up the hill through 4. They go a little bit of argy-bargy towards the latter ends of this field, but Stars is away, followed by only F1. Lots of drivers going wide. I see one of the McLarens in the background. The massive dive there from Quantum Effect as he goes down the inside of not 1 but 2 cars off this race start, but he's only able to get the 1-7. An amazing start from the Red Bull. He's now up into 6th position.
Up into 6th position, only F1 not able to get Stars, but Pepsi, he has his man. The Haas's lead so far. Pepsi getting pushed up by only F1 and a very clean start, Mikhail. So surprising. Sachs is the only real victim that came out of it through turn 3. He got pushed off onto the gravel and saw him drop several positions.
Meanwhile, Psycho and Mr. Spice having an exchange in the middle of things, going side by side through turn 12 into 13, and Psycho gets 1 more position. Spicer down 6 spots, the biggest loser, but the biggest winner, aside from Stars, taking the lead with an amazing, amazing launch off the line, has got to be Keeper as well. He's up 5 places, now in 12th place, and that's something we've gotten used to seeing from Keeper. Maybe you're learning a trick or two from that Haas who is leading things away into the 2nd lap of the race. And here we go, some close gaps all the way down this grid. Quantum Effect, he's eyeing up his next victim, and that is the Alfa Romeo of Vassar in 5th.
Important to stay within DRS range of Pepsi here, and those lead guys for Undercat, Vassar, and Quantum Effect. Otherwise, they're going to be left to right. But Quantum Effect using that ERS, he might go for a run here. Look at this, looking down the inside, having a look. Coming of it, but Vassar has missed the apex, could open up the door for Quantum if he gets good enough traction. He's holding onto that ERS through turn 6 into turn 7. Nothing to surprise, he'll have to wait. But down the field, Mr. Spicer and Skins going at it side by side into turn 7. Skins around the outside. He gets P10, he's into the point scoring positions. And he's got Psycho ahead of him.
Yes, 1.1 seconds is the gap between those two. Mr. Spicer really struggling after a great qualifying performance, dropping all the way down. And now race leader Stars has left the session. Oh no, that is the last thing that he wanted, as only F1, his teammate for this occasion, goes round the outside at turn 13 and 14. And there he goes. Stars going to drop like a stone now. Apollo Pepsi up the inside. There's a bit of argy-bargy between the two of them. But Pepsi is now through and still within that 1 second range as Stars desperately tries to get back into that seat. Meanwhile, Anocat now eyeing up the Haas right behind them as well. DRS enabled. Now we have some very, very close battles all the way down this grid. And speaking of down this grid, it's Mr. Spicer and Keeper.
Mr. Spicer and Keeper going at it. Keeper's gone off the track through turn 1. Not sure what the exchange was there, but Keeper holding on to P11. Mr. Spicer getting a bit twitchy under traction through turn 13. Still down 8 positions though. Got some work to do. Not able to get those softs under him like he would want to, but Undercat has cleared Stars to P3. He's got Pepsi ahead of him, only F1. They'll start battling eventually with the DRS coming into play this lap.
Yes, and at the back of things, it is Bandcamp and Saxa going side by side into turn 7 and 8. This is a recreation of Sergio Perez and Esteban Ocon. I think it might be, as Bandcamp gets such better traction out of turn 8, and that's the McLaren up into 14th place. So some very, very nice driving from the Dragon indeed. Keeper, 11th place. He's trying to catch back up to Skins, as you can see there. Approximately, we don't have any gaps on the stream at the moment, but approximately 3 seconds That is my guesstimate. So 3 seconds between the Mercedes and the Williams. As Snot picks up a 3-second time penalty. Apollo Pepsi about to go for the move for the race lead. It is the Ferrari getting past the Haas car into turn 1. And Pepsi, our championship leader, is now back out in front.
DRS so powerful along that back straight with that long run from turn 14 through turn 15, and then finally getting that activation point just before the start finish line. But I will say we have a decently sized train falling behind Stars at the moment.
Stars 1.1 seconds. He is so close to getting back within that DRS range. Looks like Andocat is struggling a little bit as well in that third place. And a little bit, like you were saying, down that they feel there's a massive, massive train as there's yellow flags. Looks like Bully's had an off at the exit of turn 4. Very, very unfortunate for the Mercedes car and any Mercedes fans in the chat. But all these cars so close together on this train. And we're going to jump back down with Psycho, who's currently in the middle of it all, and go on board with the AlphaTauri as he's eyeing up combat, trying to find any way past in this train of cars.
He's got a Williams in front of him, a Williams behind it. He's got to worry about Skins here. Skins has the pace to beat Psycho here, but Skins' issues all season has been keeping the car in a straight line. You see Combat Rat up ahead, all over the back of Mika. Evenly paced drivers, Williams versus Aston Martin. You see how close he is. There's a chance for a move here, but he's going to have to use a fair bit amount of DRS. The DRS is now open. He's got to run on him. Look at that overspeed. Look at him gain in that slipstream. Is it going to be enough? Does it look like he's not using any DRS? Up ahead, it looks like a change of positions. Quantum Effect gets past faster before turn 1. It's only F1 picks up a time penalty behind Pepsi. That's a big, big time penalty in the concept of everything. That's early on, and you can big chances you get more warnings down the line.
Yes, getting a time penalty this early in a race can be very detrimental to your strategy and your confidence, but no confidence issues for Combat Rat, as he is just doing all that he can. That's one of the AlphaTauris off. That's Saxa at turn 4. Looks like he has become a cropper and turn 4's latest victim. But Combat Rat still staying well within this train. It looks like Pepsi's actually pulling away from only F1. 8 tenths now is the gap when it was only about 3 or 4 tenths about half a lap ago, Seb.
Yeah, Pepsi's showing his class over this tier 2 field. He's shown it throughout the season so far to round 8, and he's just showing it once again. But only F1 still just hanging on, so importantly just hanging on. But this train for P4, well now P5, because Dust has dropped quantum effects, this could be a source of some very good action. As Skins is rather close to Psycho. Through turn 15 they go. Bit of ERS in usage for Skins right now. He's looking for a run on Psycho, but Psycho does have DRS. They head down to turn 1. Skin.
Oh, he's trying it.
He's trying it.
He's used a lot of battery as a teammate. Combat goes wide as well. Now Psycho's going to take that 8th place, and he's going to hold up his teammate. Oh no! They still keep it in one piece. They're still within DRS range. The fight isn't over yet, but with that mistake, now Psycho has broken. Well, Psycho has been left for dust from this train. 1.3 seconds now, and that DRS is about 8 tenths a lap, Sib. It's really, really powerful, and you really need it in order to get the best result possible.
So looking past it, Psycho's left out to dry, and Combat Rat, a very awkward spot to beat your teammate through, but nevertheless, Psycho is slightly gaining on Maker and Vasa ahead. So there's a chance he could salvage something in the next 2 laps, but you need to be at around a 5.5 tenth gap if you want a chance at an overtake, and not just having a look. We'll see where Skin sits as he comes out of turn 14.
Meanwhile, at the front of things, Pepsi 1.7 seconds now out in front as he starts lap 7 of 33. Ando with basically a full battery at a little bit earlier on. Now eyeing up only F1. He certainly looks like he has that race pace in that car. It took him a little bit to get a time on the board in qualifying, but that hasn't shook his confidence at all, Seb. Just look at the Aston Martin now really starting to close in on this Haas car.
He's had the pace all season long to do something. There's a car up ahead of Pepsi. No, that's Bully. Just getting out of the way of Pepsi, but see this Aston Martin and the Haas driver and the F1 expect them to have
Might
a
have to
little
cut you off there,
battle.
Seb, because we have side by side into turn 7 and 8. It's Psycho and Skins. Oh, Psycho has to take to the curb, and there's a slight little bit of contact, but both of them keeping the cars the right way forward. Now, Combat Rat, he sees this in front of him. He sees the opportunity. 90% battery in that car, but just not quite close enough just yet to make a move and capitalize off that battling. But great battling between both Skins and Psycho there.
Good battling indeed, and that Ocon and Perez vision we were shown for the race with the qualifying session been a good foreshadowing of what we've seen so far. We had, I believe it was Band and Saxa, and now Psycho and Skins go side by side through 7 and 8. It's a good spot for some battles, although it is one of the hardest sections on the track.
Yeah, it looks like Bully just getting out of the way of things as Combat. He's going to look for his opportunity up the inside into turn 1, but doesn't want to repeat what Lando Norris did last year. Backs out of it and waits for a better opportunity. Psycho and Combat both going deep into turn 3. But up the hill they go, both still within that DRS range, and Skins is just hanging on by a hair to that DRS range from Mika in front.
Yeah, Psycho's now getting held up by Bully. He's parked it on the apex right there, as you can see in that vision. Psycho won't be too happy with that, but it's lucky he's still within that DRS range of Skins, who, as I said before, has the pace. He's shown it. He's trying to claw into the back of Mika here, that Aston Martin ahead of him. He is down 2 positions and has a penalty to his name, so all to play for at the moment in this midfield pack.
Psycho getting a little bit out of shape at the exit of turn 8. Allows Combat Rat to get Rice, nice and close to the back of that AlphaTauri, but not quite close enough. Could use some rice right now.
Bit of chicken curry as well.
Yeah. That'd be really, really nice. And speaking of
Very
nice things, I think Psycho has lost DRS range, so this is the opportunity for Combat Rat. He runs out of deployment. He's so keen to get past this AlphaTauri to the inside line on board with the Williams car, and that is going to be an easy move. Maybe not quite. Psycho goes off the track to try and hold that position, but it's to no avail. And now Psycho now back down into 10th place as keeper. Looks like, no, it's Bully. Got excited for a second. Bully has had another spin at turn 2 this time, and not having a good day, the two Mercedes cars.
Yeah, not having a good day at all. Keeper's magnificent star hasn't seen him go anywhere. Bandcamp in front of him at the moment. But as we saw before, Psycho had to let Combat Rat go. Went off the track, overtook him. This is just the right thing to do. So good on him for doing that.
Yeah, a little bit quiet on your end of things, Seb. But nevertheless, looks like Ando trying to save up a little bit of battery. He's at 90% in that Aston Martin. Currently sitting in 3rd place as Bully continues to be a Beyblade. Looks like this time at turn 5. Only F1 has a solid amount of battery as well, as they've started at lap 10 of 33. And it's around this point where we might start to see a few undercuts here, Seb.
Yeah, the pit window has opened. It's a soft-medium strategy or a medium-soft, depending on what tyre you start on, obviously. But undercut is quite massive, but you have to keep in mind the tyre life around here. Those mediums tend to go off very quickly at the end of their life, at the end of their stint. Put them through massive amounts of loads. Turn 1, turn 2, that turn 8 corner, and then the double right of turn 10 and 11, swing through turn 12. It's just massive loads throughout the corner, especially on that front left tyre. You see it so often that front left is more worn than those rear tyres.
Yeah, with the amount of stress that front left's on, it just starts to open up a little bit, and you can sometimes see on the onboard. We'll go back on board with Andocat. If I get rid of the timing tail, this tyre's actually looking in pretty decent shape at this stage of the race, so great tyre preservation from Andocat. There's a little bit of wear on that front left, you can sort of see in the direct sun, but not too bad for the Aston Martin. So very, very nicely done. Has a good amount of ERS, and it's like, you know what, I'm just going to chill behind this pass and see what he does. Oh, it looks like only F1 into the pit lane. We have our first.
He's looking for the undercut, yeah.
And no one follows him.
Mika has, though.
Oh, here we
Mika,
go.
I believe, was overtaken by Skins when we were talking. Combat Rat's followed Mika in as well, so First wave of pit stoppers about to come in. Looks like Mickey's
Only
getting a
F1's
change of
put on the
as well.
softs again. He must be
Oh,
on a
okay.
two-stop.
That has to be a mistake. That has to be a mistake.
Yeah, I'm really confused. I'm as confused as you are at that strategy choice, Seb, but obviously he just wants to push as hard as he can for as long as he can and not have to worry about tyres at all. Which is certainly a way to do things.
Could be betting on a safety car here. He'd be going to around lap 12-ish, lap 10. Sorry, 10 laps on those. So lap 20, not lap 10, a lap 12, excuse me. But he's going to have to put out some very good laps if he wants this to work, because at the end of the day, he will have to go into another set of tyres, and they'll have to be a set of mediums, regardless of whether a safety car comes out or not.
I will say, though, that Bully is not having a good day. Not having a good day at all as he spins across the track.
Oh, he's taking out.
Oh, no. I don't see any visual damage, but that sounded like a pretty decent hit as now Ando, Quantum, and Vasa have responded to the undercut attempt from only F1. On the go, the medium compound tyres for the Aston Martin. Looks like Pepsi and Stars have stayed out yet another lap. And now let's see where only F1 is. He's coming down the main straight now. He's under threat, actually, from Keeper. And it's going to be pretty close. And there he goes. He's ahead of Andocat. So, looks like his undercut has worked, but maybe not as well as he was hoping for, Seb.
I was hoping for. He has to smash Keeper now. He gets a beautiful switchback, Mika. Look at that. So the DRS as well. He's not using any of the ERS. Surprisingly, he has so much available to him. Trying to outbrake Keeper into turn 5. He goes a bit deep, but Keeper's got nothing to answer for it. Nice move from only F1. Good racecraft. He got the move he needed to do.
Yeah, that's a crucial move, especially with another stop to do for the Haas car. He's going to have to really just grab that car by the neck and just throw it around everywhere. But he has the rubber to do so as Bully. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's really, really unfortunate. So he's just have a yellow flag in sector 2 for a little bit. Closest gap on this grid right now is the one between Keeper and Andocat. And now this is a pretty crucial move for Ando as well. He has 100% battery than Aston Martin, Seb. So once he gets past this Mercedes, it's going to be full push mode, hammer time for this Aston Martin.
Let's see Keeper defend to the inside. Andocat will get that move done well before turn 1, but Pepsi and Stars have both pitted, and Andocat has jumped Stars by a world of quantum effect as well. Looks like he'll get him. Stars might drop even more here.
He's dropped to Skins and Vasa, who are having their own little duel into turn 1. The Williams getting past the Alfa Romeo. Give a yellow flag. Looks like Bully has crashed out of the session. And that is a safety car. I can't see the text. It's a full course yellow. I'm assuming
it's a full course yellow.
That's the full safety car. I see the yellow dot at turn 1. It is a full safety car, ladies and gentlemen. So, here we go. I think everyone who had started on the softs had already pitted. But that helps Ando so much. Because Pepsi had about a 6.5 to 7 second lead over the Aston Martin. And now, it's completely evaporated.
Well, crucially for Ando as well, only F1 loses, track time, laps. Uses laps to try and gain with those soft tyres, so...
I mean, he's going to have to pit the mediums.
Surely he does. And unfortunately for Stars, he pits a lap too early when that safety car comes out. And unfortunately for him, he's sitting in P11 behind 4 guys who are not yet to pit. So technically he's P7/P6, depending on what only F1 does.
Skins getting a 3-second time penalty under safety car conditions is not what you want to be seeing. Keeper has put on a fresh set of soft tyres. Excuse me? Looks like he's not the only one. Decelerate in the pits as well. Saxa, looks like his AI might have pitted because I did see him leave the session. He's going to put on a fresh set of hard tyres to go to the end of this race. I dare say he'll be just coming right back into the pits and put on another set of mediums. So they'll easily make it to the end from here. But what a shuffled up grid that we have for this race restart. And look at that. What did I tell you? The Dragon, P1. He might not have stopped yet, but he's P1 on track. Let's just stop the race right now, sir.
Stop the race. We need the Dragon to win one. That way he doesn't kill us all. But, Stars in the chat. Got wing damage after he left the game. Well, his game crashing, so rather unfortunate for him.
If you're just joining us, welcome to Aussie Formula Racing. My name is Mikhail. Joining me is my Tier 1 Season 4 rival, Mr. Sebastian. Also current championship leader, if I'm not mistaken, in Tier 3.
I don't know. I think I am. Yeah, I am.
I think so. Fast cookie. Fast cookie indeed. And speaking of fast cookies, we have quite a few of them on this Tier 2 grid here at Portimao. Lap 14 of 33 thus far. And we have a full safety car after Bully unfortunately crashed at the exit of the last corner. I still don't know exactly how he managed that, but it's been spinning basically at every corner, and maybe just wanted to check that one off of the list. But the order right now, it is Bandcamp, Polo Pepsi, only F1 reserving for the Haas team. Followed by Andocat, not in 5th place as well, so the McLaren's yet to stop, but, I mean, hey, 1st and 5th, not bad. Not bad at all, as considering where they started this race towards the back. Quantum Effect in 6th place for Red Bull, the only Red Bull on this grid, followed by Skins, or Memphis Reigns, for Williams in 7th. Vassar in 8th. Stars, our pole sitter. Well, actually, not a pole sitter, he was a front 3, but has the pace. He is in 9th place, and Combat Rat rounds out the top 10. A few drivers left to pit in this race. Obviously, Bandcamp and not the 2 McLarens are yet to make a pit stop. The only 2 drivers yet to make a stop in this race. Only F1, those stops are not going to make it more than half the race, as is Decelerate in that camp. And that's about it. Everyone else can theoretically go to the end of this race. So.
Yeah, and looking at the grid at the moment, Mr. Spicer had great qualified P4 all the way down in P13. So race is not going his way, like Mika, who's down 7 positions as well. Stars, as we mentioned numerous times, P9 down 6. And those 2 McLarens up P15 spots and 13 spots with Skins in that P7 slot. He's primed. And I mean, he is primed for a chance at the podium here. I don't think he's had a good point scoring race since Bahrain, round 1. So
good things come to those who wait, sir. That's what I'm hoping for in Tier 1 with the first race victory of the season. But anyway, aside from that, it is safety car in this lap, so it will be green for lap 16 of 33, just around the halfway point in this race, and it is Bandcamp leading them away. We're now right on board from the rear view, and he is gone, and it looks like a Pepsi has been caught napping slightly, and he is side by side with only F1 as they now make a start on this race. This race is back underway. I'm losing control of the cameras. Here we go. Pepsi, a little bit wide out of turn 1. Only F1 right behind him. And it looks like up the inside of turn 3, the Haas driver is trying to make a move, reserving, showing Tier 2 what Tier 3 is all about. And here he goes. And we have this amazing shot as they make their way into turn 5, Seb.
beautiful shot indeed. You see Quantum Effect go out a nut down the inside, not trying to fight it. They bang wheels on the exit through turn 6. Quantum Effect has P5. He's up there, not losing position on those old medium tyres, and Quantum Effect has Andocat right in front of him. These two have fought a fair bit, I believe. About to fight some more.
And it looks like Ben is also starting to struggle at the lead of things. Pepsi 3/10, and it's only F1 2/10 behind him. Ando not too far behind, as well as Memphis Reigns. Skins a 10.5, so lots of very close gaps all the way down this grid. Unfortunate for both Saxa and Keeper, who have lost out big time from that safety car restart, as Vassar and Stars going side by side into turn 14.
Yeah, Stars getting that move done just about. Vassar on the inside, he'll have to give way. Skins and Nut up ahead, and you have Pepsi and Band side by side. This is for the race lead. Although provisionally, Pepsi looking around the outside into turn 1. We try and swoop around the outside of Bandcamp. He's gone off the track though. He might have to get the position back. I think he should. He hasn't got the move done entirely because
he's gone
back
deep.
to the inside. He has.
He's gone deep. Only F1. Oh my goodness, that's so close, Seb.
Oh, you can see he's pushing him off the track there. That could have been disastrous.
But Bandcamp still there. Oh, massive dive from the Haas. He pulls the car up sort of just in time. And Pepsi is going to be like, thank you very much. Bandcamp not going to be too happy in that McLaren cockpit. He's lost not 1, not 2, but 3 places from that dive bomb from the Haas car.
The seas parted for the red Ferrari car. Now Bandcamp has the Red Bull of Quantum for company behind him as they go through turn 10 and 11. Bandcamp trying to hold on to whatever those medium tyres have left in them. They'll be getting close to the end of their life very soon in the next 3 or so laps as they go now through the final sector, about to start lap 18. One more corner to navigate before we have DRS activated again, and only F1. This is, in my opinion, the last chance he has to get an overtake done on Pepsi before those tyres say goodbye to him.
Yeah, so we have lots of fighting all down this order as well, because not being another sort of bottleneck. Skins has just gotten past him. There's a lot of fighting as it looks like Quantum is going to make that move easily past, but right behind them, it is not right on the back. Oh, we have a massive dive inside. Vassar has to back out of it. 2 cars, 3 cars off the track. Psycho, maybe a little bit of an illegal overtake there. Stars he's had some kind of issue. He is going very slowly off of the racetrack now. Rejoins in 15th place. Quantum and Bandcamp. Almost said Quantum and Dragon, but the Dragon. Quantum exchanging as well. Now Quantum up into 5th. Band down into 6th around the outside now. We're looking at Vasa fight Mika. There's a little bit of wheel bang of the Aston Martin getting all out of shape there. And now Spice is going to have a look at this as well.
Down the inside of turn 7, thinks better of it. Smart racing right there. Don't want to risk anything. Very easy to understeer into your opposing driver who is on the outside line when you have the inside of turn 7. Now they get to catch their breath a little, but not for too long. They've got half a sector to navigate before they're back right in the thick of it, as they'll have that DRS for that main straight. You can see only F1 is losing time to Pepsi at the moment. Pepsi being superior on those medium tyres versus those soft tyres, and only F1. Surprised he didn't pit under the safety car. Surprised he even went with the softs in the first place. His strategy call is not paying off whatsoever.
Well, he's certainly showing a lot of pace. Look at the overspeed from the Haas car up the inside. They're going wheel to wheel, going through the first couple of corners. Pepsi just about to hold it around the outside. But a little bit of a lock-up from the Ferrari might put him under threat to the second DRS zone. But only F1 not quite able to get close enough. A little bit of a snap from the Ferrari in front, but it's not going to quite be enough. But that was so close to being a catastrophic accident between our front 2 at the moment.
Not only are they very close to having a catastrophic accident, Andoka out of turn 4 had a massive snap, nearly sent it into that left-hand side wall, able to just keep it out, but he's coming to the clutches of Quantum Effect now, who is having a very good race so far, up 4 positions.
Yes, Quantum, after dispatching Bandcamp, he has actually put in a very stellar drive thus far, having to make up for the unfortunate race a couple hours ago. But here he goes. We can have this very nice offboard shot of the special Red Bull livery. About 9/10 between himself and Ando. Ando actually showing a lot of pace in that Aston Martin, Seb. He might be on for a decent result, especially after only F1 makes its final pit stop.
He is very much on for that P2, but attention back to these top 2. DRS, only F1. Haas versus Ferrari. Ferrari versus Ferrari engine. Look at that straight line speed. Just zooms past him down into turn 1. Nothing Pepsi can do, but he might have an answer with that switchback through turn 2. Wow, what racing from Pepsi down the inside into turn 3. That is brilliant, Mikhail.
Put that one to music, Seb. What an amazing defense from the championship leader. I'm sorry, I saw your line there, but looks like only F1 is not having any of it. Has a little look to try and spook the Ferrari, but Pepsi ice cold through that braking zone. Doesn't budge an inch to the Haas car behind him, and it's as you were for the front 2.
You were indeed, but Quantum Effect all over the back of Andokate. Just get a feeling that Andokate was really feeling the pressure after his near potential race-ending incident. But you can see only F1 so close to Pepsi. Through turn 11 into turn 12. the final sector, you just see him stuck to the rear end of Pepsi. Those soft tires working for him as he goes a bit wide. This is the apex. It's not going to cost him too much because he will have DRS, and being within 4 tenths is a very easy move. How's that traction out of turn 14? Not good enough. Pepsi gets a really good run, but you just think with that DRS, he's close enough within that 5/10 gap. He's used a bit of that ARS through turn 15, up that little crest. DRS to open, straight line speed. He's going to get him once again, but this time will he be able to hang on?
Right on board with Pepsi and find out. He covers off the inside. Pepsi has to get out of the throttle, and he has made that move stick for turn 2, but not quite for turn 3. A massive dive from the Ferrari. The championship leader fighting with the Haas car. Only F1 on the inside. They leave just about enough room, and they both make it through.
Oh, only F1 nearly lost it on the inside of Pepsi through turn 4, but Pepsi showing just what he's made of. Only F1 though. He's saying, I want some of this. You can't just let it go away with that. But he doesn't have the straight line speed and acceleration through turn 6 to get him into turn 7 and 8. This is a brilliant battle brewing right now.
Man, I wish only F1 didn't have to stop again. This is absolutely intense racing, clean racing as well, and hard racing. So this is what we absolutely love to see here at AFR. And, well, AFR is back, ladies and gentlemen. AFR is truly back, and we have an amazing battle for the race lead on our hands. But it's not just for the race lead that things are heating up. For that third place as well, Quantum Effect still about 0.6 of a second behind Andocat for that final podium place. As well as a little bit further down the field, Nemo getting very close to the back of Mika for 11th.
And once again, only F1 with that chance. This time he's got it a lot more easier on Pepsi, well ahead into turn 1. Pepsi's got no answer for it. But meanwhile, Quantum Effect and Endocat side by side into turn 1. Quantum Effect takes P3, at least in the short term. He's got a bit wide through turn 1. That might be a warning, I think it is. Now keep in mind, Quantum Effect does have that time penalty to his name, so Endocat can just sit behind in his DRS and soak up the race.
Oh no,
he's gone wide. He's followed him off the track, Mikhail, and he's got a time penalty as well.
Well, can't rest easy now. Now you have to overtake the Red Bull on track, all fair and square. You've both exceeded the track the same number of times, and you're going to pay the price for it. 3 seconds for the Aston Martin as he now hunts down another podium to add it to his tally.
And he'll get that podium. It's just a question of what Skins does behind him and how lucky only F1 gets down the line with safety cars. Nevertheless, Pepsi is doing a very good job to keep up with him. I'm surprised only F1 as well is able to keep those soft tires running as good as he has. He has a snap out of 14, but I wouldn't be surprised if only F1 were to pit sooner rather than later. Nope, they're still going. Pepsi, ERS, DRS, straight line speed. Easy does it. Oh, bit of a swing to the right from only F1. Very late. Pepsi able to just about read it. But he does hold on to P1. Gets it back from only F1 a lap after only F1 took it from him.
Yes, Pepsi back into the lead of things. This battle really starting to heat up. Pepsi using a lot of battery to try and pull away as much as he can. A purple first sector, 4/10 faster than his personal best. So he is really pushing. You can see the ERS usage on the telemetry, the MFD as well. He is really pushing this lap, Seb.
Really pushing indeed, trying to get everything out of that Ferrari engine as possible and those 4 tyres he has attached to it. So unable to get that gap he needs. This will go on for a while longer until only F1 does inevitably decide to pit.
Well, he's going to have to. He's only used the soft compound tyres as Mr. Spicer, unfortunately, out of this race at turn 2. That might bring about a virtual safety car. It's in a pretty awkward spot.
Doesn't look like it will. It normally comes out quickly. Yeah, it's green flag, so he's unlucky with that. But I want to draw your attention. We have a train, well, I say a train. P2 battle is going to heat up soon. Quantum Effect, Endocat, Skins, and Combat Rat right behind them as well.
Yes, while Keeper has a bit of an issue at turn 5 now, jumping on board with Skins in the Williams. And he has certainly caught up to this train. He's hit him! He's hit Endocat! and he spins around, hopping over the curb. That is the last thing that you want. Commentator's curse has struck again. Combat Rat making his way through now, but it looks like Skins is going to still be the lead Williams car as they go down into turn 5. But man, oh man, if that's not damage, he is very lucky to get away from that unscathed.
Very lucky indeed. There has been bigger hitboxes or issues with hitboxes so far since that new update came out about a week ago.
Oh, he must have damage. He just went
he
so
does.
wide at turn 7. He must have at least something. He's now lost a position to his teammate. But not only that, decelerate around the outside of turn 9 into turns 10 and 11. And he gets that move done, decelerate. Even though he has to pit again, because those softs won't make it to the end, he's now up into 6th place, separating the two Williams from each other.
Skins, different days, same result. Has the pace to score some really good points, but just one little mistake, and that's all she wrote. But back to those top guys. It's battle for P3 at the moment. Still heating up. Quantum Effect has no ERS whatsoever to play with. Endocat really has, or pretty much has a full tank. No disputing that he has one, because you sit about 80%. That is pretty much full. Just biding his time, waiting for that right opportunity to snatch that podium position from Quantum Effect.
I don't know why Endocat doesn't just use all of his battery and just push past, because he certainly has the pace to break that 1 second gap. So maybe that is an option, and that would put him well outside of the range, well, the penalty range. That at least gives him a chance to get out of the penalty range from Combat Rat behind him, because remember, these two at the front, well, these two fighting for what is a net P2 in this race, do have a 3-second time penalty apiece. Ooh. As there's a battle going on a little bit further back down the grid. It is Saxa and the Dragon now side by side. Better purchase for the McLaren, has the inside light through 7. They're still going side by side. Bearcamp just slightly ahead and is able to make that move stick. A very, very nice job from the Dragon.
Experienced head prevailing, only F1 has pitted, and Nemo and Psycho were battling through the exact same section, and then Nemo lost it just ahead of Saxa and Bandcamp before they got to it. Nemo currently sitting in P10. He's behind Mika by 7.4 seconds, so unfortunate for the Alpine driver, who I believe is pitting. No, that's Skins. The Skins has a 5-second time penalty for being the pit line. This penalty always baffles me when drivers get it.
I mean, it is quite hard to judge how fast the car will decelerate. Especially with a chipped front wing, which is why he's in the pits in the first place, putting on a fresh set of soft compound tires to take him the remaining 9 laps or so. I can't maths. 8 laps.
Let's think. Yes,
8
7
laps
plus
including
1.
the current lap.
7 plus 1, you're correct, Mikhail. Do that math. But
Quick maths.
Endocat Combat Rat Decelerate. I'm surprised Decelerate is still out on those softs. I wonder if he'll make it last.
And he's still got grip in them.
Yeah,
look at that.
He's having a go at. He's having a go at Combat Rat down the inside of turn 11. How do you do? Wonderful, wonderful craftsmanship of Decelerate, making those soft tires work in the Alfa Romeo. 11-lap-old soft tires work around the outside of Combat Rat through turn 9 into turn 11. That was brilliant from the Alfa Romeo driver. But I will say, watching him right now off board, does look a bit twitchy through those long, heavy, loaded corners. It's a sign that maybe
that's where you're really going to feel it, isn't that right, Seb? But here we go, a massive DRS turn. Well, not massive, but 4 cars long, massive in my books, and then that was a very, very aggressive defense from the Red Bull of Quantum Effect, just blocking Ando from getting past. Ando had a little look with the overspeed, but not quite enough. Decelerator Combat Rat staying close together, but I don't know about you, Seb, but that looked pretty close in my book.
I think that was just about fair. If he did it a fraction later, that would have been potential penalty range right there. But oh no, Combat Rat picks up a 3-second time bleed, so he was on for a podium there. Considering the fact Endocat and Quantum Effect both have penalties. He's now out of that equation with that penalty. Decelerate looking primed as he gets really close to the back of Endocat, who's all over the back of that Red Bull. We expect these two to go at it once again into turn 1.
Well, he's not exactly out of the podium fight. He just has to overtake the cars on track. Yeah. It's all equal footing. We'll have a quick look at the penalties as we have this little break. So all of the penalties within the top 10 are 3-second time penalties. A little bit more down the order as Skins has spun yet again, this time at turn 8.
Whoa.
But here we go. Round 2. Quantum Effect goes. Oh!
That's a squeeze and a half. Endocat doesn't like that. You can, I don't think he'll be too happy under that helmet. Decelerate getting very closely. So if Decelerate just had an extra 15% of ERS, there's a chance he could very much get Endocat and Quantum Effect here.
Well, here we go. It looks like Decelerate, he's staying out. I don't know what he's doing with those tires. He must have like a full-on like mansion for them. He must be treating them so well to make them last this long. It's absolutely incredible stuff. And oh, that's a little snap. That's a little snap from Endocat. That's gonna open the door. No, 3 times in a row this race. Oh my goodness, Decelerate round the outside of turn number 9. Oh wow.
Cometh the hour, cometh the man, eh?
I wouldn't classify that as an overtaking spot, Seb, but Decelerate is proving me wrong, and he's proving me very wrong indeed.
He certainly likes it, but only F1 is starting to become a factor here. He is within around 2.5 seconds of this like P2 battle. I think he could be a chance. If these guys fight very hard over the ensuing 5 laps, be very much so. Decelerate, no ERS, but he still has his DRS, so he's going to get a rundown into turn 1. Quantum Effect cannot fight this at all. He has P2, but he's just soaring at the moment. He's got a great rhythm to him, Mikael.
Yeah, and while this is going on, Pepsi is well and truly gone. He almost has a pit stop gap between himself and Decelerate, who's now in P2. I think Decelerate's going to try and finish the race on these tires. I wouldn't go so this long.
Watch out for only F1 though. He is seriously charging on these 4 cars right now. He was 2.5 behind. He's now 1.2. He has some serious pace about him. Oh, he's around. I've cursed him, Mikael.
He's into the gravel. Oh, just pushing that a little bit too hard. Those rears must be extremely hot. He was looking like he was going to storm back through and get it on the medium tires. But that has all come undone with one mention from Sebastian.
In my defense, he took too much inside curve, okay? That's a driver error. It's a driver error, but nevertheless, Quantum Effect has lost touch to Decelerate, so he's opened himself up to Endocat, who has a whole universe worth of ERS on his name right now.
It's not just Endocat, it's Combat Rat as well. We're riding on board with the Williams car. They're both gaining more. Onto the outside goes Ando. They've touched! Oh. They've touched. Ando and Quantum Effect touch wheels. They bang wheels once again. And Combat Rat just has to sit back and watch, as there isn't quite an opportunity to make anything of it. But if these two keep racing like this, they're going to come together, Seb. It's just a matter of time, and there goes a massive run from Combat. Ando goes defensive. It doesn't matter. Combat around the outside of turn 5. Can he find the purchase on those medium tires? No, not quite.
Endocat's still there. They're going to try and go for this. No. Endocat backs out wisely. Combat with the brilliant, splendid move around the outside of turn 5. But I tell you what, Quantum Effect is using every trick in the book. He scared Endocat out of that move through turn 1, I believe. He is pushing the absolute limits of defense right now.
Well, that's what we want to see. Drivers pushing to the absolute limit and doing everything that they can to try and maintain their positions, of course, within the AFR rules and regulations. And he is dancing on a knife edge as the Red Bull car with some of those defenses, as Skins is now out of this race. He's now crashed at turn 4. Will this bring out something, Seb? I don't think it will, because there's only 3 laps to go, so no more safety cars for the rest of this race. And Combat Rat up the inside of Quantum into turn 1. And there he goes. Quantum has no answer just yet. He's down to 8%, now 13% after the braking zone. But very, very low battery in that white bull, as I like to call it. It's the black Mercedes, and now there's the white bull, Seb.
Yeah, can't really call it a silver arrow when it's black. But Quantum Effect is going to have Endocat the company once again, and I believe that will come down to last. Oh, Endocat having issues. Had a technical issue which has seen him drop to P6.
Oh no. And he only has this lap and 2 more as he loses the rear. He's now under pressure from his teammate, no less, Seb. So what was looking like a surefire podium has slipped away with technical difficulties that might look like car issues maybe. I'm not sure. But we'll see how things go in only F1. Now right on the back of the 2 Aston Martins as well.
So you're in the F1. Back on the pace. Looking just for some form of decent midfield points here. But we could see he was absolutely flying before he had that spin at turn 7, but got a chance again. You can see Mika with all the run in his teammate right now. These two might help each other along here just to defend from only F1, but only F1 has so much straight line speed. He's going to go down the inside of Andercat into turn 1. He's nearly pushed him off, and he has pushed him off. They're going to go side by side through turn 2 into turn 3. Andercat's pushed on the F1 into Mika. Look at this, Miguel.
Oh no, there's a little bit of contact between the 2 of them, but it's fair play. They're still continuing on. Oh my goodness, F1 trying to take the off-road to try and get past the Aston Martin, but it isn't quite going to be enough. There he goes for that massive dive into turn 5, and he pulls the car up, and he gets that move done. It was a little bit, not the cleanest move that we've seen so far tonight, but it's a move nonetheless, and it was stuck, and he's now up into 6th place.
He did what he needed to do, and he has the pace to pull a bigger gap right now, but decelerate is still going well in those tyres, but I am looking at that right front tyre and that left front. They are very worn. He's got 1 more lap to go. I hope he doesn't get a puncture. I don't think he will. This has been a master class in how to look after your tyres from the Alfa Romeo driver.
He's only got 2.3 miles to go or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how long this track is. It's about 1 minute and 20 seconds, give or take.
Mika and only F1 now into turn 1 on the back straight. Mika's got P6 for now, but only F1 will try to fight this back. They both have P2 time, but his name only F1 goes so wide at turn 1. Very interesting line from him there as Mika's missed the apex, so is only F1, but he keeps it tighter through turn 3 into turn 4. Only F1 once again. This isn't great driving from the Haas driver, and he's gone for a massive lunge as well. Oh, Mika's trying to hold it around the outside. Only F1 trying to give him the space on the exit. Mika getting the traction down. He'll swoop past him. Only F1 not putting up a great display of how to keep that car in the track limits.
Yes, using absolutely every last inch of tarmac available to him, and then some, as Apollo Pepsi takes yet another race victory here at Portugal, and it looks like the Accelerate, he might be 24 seconds behind, but 18 laps on softs. Man, oh man, what a drive from this Alfa Romeo.
What a drive indeed. He's just got that last corner. Hopefully he doesn't get a puncture in the rear tyre. He doesn't. What a drive from the Accelerate. See him weave. Combat Route will get P3. A quantum effect will come home in P5 because Psycho has been that 3-second time penalty range. He'll pick up P4. Maker and only F1 across the line. Maker gets P6. Only F1 will jump him. Interesting enough. Andercat into P8. Van Camp gets some points around position and jumps Andercat because of Andercat's 3-second final penalty. Now, the final points around position, this will come down to the wire. Nemo is within that 2/10 range. He will get that final point as Saxa just misses out with that time penalty. Nut crosses the line, then Vasa will come next. Keep up far behind, and Stars has already finished the race a lap behind Pepsi.
Wow. Why couldn't the other 2 races be less? That was incredible. Absolutely amazing display of driving from basically all the drivers on this grid. I'm sure you could agree with me, Seb, that was an absolutely amazing race. Well done to Pepsi. Showed the pace from the start. Oh my god.
That was interesting.
Keeper might have to be looked at after the race. Yeah, Keeper's dead. But yeah, just wow. I mean, driver of the day to decelerate. Props to him. I can't fault that. 18 laps on softs. I mean, if you told me that at the start of the week, I would have told you that you were crazy, Seb.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing.
But that is your podium. So Polo Pepsi in first place with Decelerate in second after an amazing drive and a clinic on how to look after your tyres. And rounding off the podium will be Combat Rat for Williams. So Williams with a nice haul of points in the Combined Constructors Championship as well. After that, it'll be Psycho with his best finish so far this season in 4th place, with Quantum Effect in 5th, Only F1 in 6th, Mika in 7th, Bandcamp in 8th for McLaren, 16th on the grid as well. Nice drive from him. Endocat in 9th after a few technical issues at the latter stages of the race, and Nemo will collect that final point for the Alpine team. Decelerate 14th to 2nd, Seb. That is an incredible drive. But, of course, Pepsi as well. Just an absolute masterclass from Pepsi. Didn't put a foot wrong, and he takes maximum points for his efforts. Unfortunate for the drivers of Skins and Mr. Spicer and Bully, who are unable to finish this one with Keeper Stars both a lap down. But, Seb, any closing remarks before we start to wrap things up here? That was an incredible, incredible race.
Yeah, great fighting from a lot of drivers, clean and then some not clean, but that's what you'll get in a race. Congratulations to Pepsi in a world of his own, and well done to Decelerate on making that strategy work.
Yes, it was very, very interesting indeed. Now, I don't believe there is any Friday series, but let's say, well, I don't know if there's going to be a Friday series, but if there is a Friday series, be sure to join our Discord to get the latest information on that. And what I do know for a fact, Seb, is that AFR will be back this week heading to Imola. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to Imola for the next round of the AFR season number 7 championship. And with quite the drama-filled round here in Portugal, Imola is going to be something else. You won't want to miss it, so be sure to hit the follow button to get notified. Well, with that bell as well to be notified when AFR goes live. Tier 3 will start at 5:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time on next Sunday. Well, that's going to be all from us here tonight. My name has been Mikhail. Joining me has been Seb. This was AFR round number 8 around Portugal, and we will see you next week for Imola.